I tend the ache that hides in the details. In devotion, I discover my healing. In rhythm, I recover my power. This is my frequency. This is Chiron in the 6th house in Gemini of my chart. My intention for this slideshow is to guide you through how I explore my astrological chart using intuition and AI. I will share with you how I translate placements into actionable insights, and I invite you to do the same. So you might want to grab a pen and notebook, as this isn't just information, it's a reflection. So, Chiron in the 6th house. This shows up as, I must get it right to belong. I must be funny to belong. I must be useful to be loved. I must provide something to be worthy. And there's this theme of overgiving, burning yourself to keep others warm. The body can reflect these emotional burdens. It can show up as dis-ease. It can also show up as a hyper focus on flaws of not just yourself, but of other people. And this can cause strain in your relationships. So I forgot to mention earlier that Chiron in my 6th house is in my Placidus. I was exploring my chart, and I'm by default now looking at whole sign, because a lot of the YouTube videos are using whole sign. So I'm using that for the transits and understanding my chart this way. But I was like, hold up. Let's go back to Placidus here, because Chiron is in my 7th house in whole sign, but it's in the 6th house in Placidus. And I'm diving into it and understanding it makes a lot more sense for me personally as my core self. And I've heard that people look at Placidus for your core self, for your psychological self, and then there's the whole sign for transits. I could be oversimplifying that, but that's what I've heard. And so when I look at Chiron in the 6th house, it talks about this chronic tension between productivity and worth, always having to provide something, give something in order to be seen as worthy or needed or loved by someone. And there's this tendency as well, I've seen it show up in conversations that I've had with my friends and families, that people with Chiron in the 6th house have a tendency to want to fix instead of feel things. So they could be listening to someone share a story about some issue that they're having, and rather than just sharing empathy and being like, sharing some compassion, they will try and fix it. Like, let's find a solution to that. You could do this, or perhaps you could try this, and da-da-da-da-da. And that can cause for me, because Chiron is in my 7th house in the whole sign chart, my Chiron in the 6th causes issues with my relationships. My Chiron in the 6th causes issues in my 7th house. My Chiron, my wound, me not attending my wound is causing issues with my relationships. I could help, I could help other people by sharing what I have been through. So this is, again, going back to my intention here. I want to share something with you that I've learned about myself, and in doing so, I hope that I can inspire something in you, or just share some wisdom with you, and who knows where that will lead, right? the beauty of sharing art and things that bring you joy. So diving into Chiron in the 6th house, this helps me to understand, okay, what do I need to do to move forward? Like, how can I address this wound in order to live? I ain't getting younger here. I need to address this at some point. So let's dive into this deeper. So Chiron in the 6th house, how could this show up in the workplace? Well, through my exploration with Chat GPT, and just knowing, I've been studying astrology for quite some time now. So I'm not just basing this on information found from Chat GPT. I'm verifying the information as well with my inner compass. Just a disclaimer there. So a person with Chiron in the 6th house could be a person that is incredibly gifted with reading the subtle dynamics between people and things in the workplace, but something that may hinder them from stepping into a leadership role is because that person doubts their gifts, or they fear not knowing enough. I don't know enough. I'm not an expert in that area, so I shouldn't be stepping into that kind of thing. But no, that's your wound. The shadow of doubt. There could be also a tendency to have difficulty asking questions. It's the kid in school afraid to put their hand up because they would fear being seen as dumb by the rest of their classmates, or he or she doesn't know the answer, so they keep their hand down. However, healing comes, or could come, from micro mastery. What does that mean? It means that you are the mentor in disguise. By helping others understand simply what once felt hard for you, that's you healing your Chiron. So consider roles like a guide, a coach. Become the translator of complexity. Translate all of the chaos into something clear and easy to understand. And that is Chiron in the 6th house gift. And that's why I'm here, because I have Chiron in the 6th house. And the light bulb moment for me, and I'm not sure why I didn't put the 2 and 2 together prior to this, was I was diagnosed with a tumor, a desmoid tumor, a rare tumor, fibromatosis, desmoid tumor on the brachial plexus in my early 20s. Chiron in the 6th house. Which leads me to, how does Chiron in the 6th house show up in health? It can indicate psychosomatic issues. So when the body is under emotional stress and it's not expelling that extra energy, then that energy can manifest over time as a chronic disease, as a tumor, in my case. And I'm very lucky to have had the tumor that I have had, despite it being very large and very painful at various stages in my life. I haven't done any chemotherapy because it's just far too deep into the body, thank goodness. I haven't done any chemotherapy, I haven't done any radiation, I haven't taken pharmaceuticals. I did in the beginning, I think 2 months maximum. And I'm I'm like, wow. There are people who suffer with the same disease that have had to amputate their arm, so I say that, I don't say that lightly. I'm very, very blessed and consider myself very lucky to have only manifested this tumor, because it could have been far, far worse. And I'm not saying this to say that, all diseases are because let's be adult here and let's not oversimplify things. Let me go back to my slide. Let me come back to center, because I do digress on that topic, and I do need to do a video specifically on fibromatosis, because it's still a story that I wish to share. And then when I no longer need to share it, then I've healed a part of that. So in health, it can look like Chiron in the 6th house can look like burnout. Burnout masks as productivity. Burnout masquerading as dedication. This is constantly doing something, constantly being busy to be seen as productive. If I stop being productive, then nobody's going to value me, then no one's going to love me. If I stop doing this, then X, Y, Z. Healing Chiron in the 6th house can look like being gentle with yourself, rest, compassionate pacing, small tiny rituals throughout the day for you to come back to center, to shake away the energy that your body is absorbing into your fibers and tissues. You may have had a tough relationship with your body as well, with health habits, routine, and healing comes from understanding your body's signals, not punishing it. So this is, this really depends on your work, but do as much as you can to be gentle with yourself. So, how can we further expand ourselves? We can learn to forgive ourselves for not being perfect. We can trust that we're not going to be shamed for asking questions. It's okay to raise your hand and not know the answer. In fact, be proud to not know the answer. The world is a very large and complex place. Just because you don't know something doesn't mean that you're not intelligent. And just because you don't know something, you don't need to know everything fast. It doesn't mean that you're not intelligent, not knowing everything fast. And you could also model the courage to pause, to clarify, and speak softly into the no's. Teach others that it's okay to not know the answer. It's okay to not get the joke straight away. Or never get the joke. It's okay to ask again. It's okay to breathe. It's okay to take pause. It's okay to take a day off just to fucking do nothing. It's okay. It's okay to say no. Learn to live with compassion. You probably are the biggest critic, your worst enemy. And the world is actually quite it's the people that make the world a hard place. There are some people who make the world a harder place, so let's try and be as soft with ourselves as possible, because we're fighting our army here. So be gentle with yourself. Let's dive in deeper. Chiron and Gemini, communication. So this will then translate as being the wound of not knowing enough. You could probably have a deep sensitivity around your intellect, around communication or being misunderstood, especially in the work settings. You could have been overly silenced, criticized for how you express yourself, or feeling like you had to know everything to feel safe, to be worthy. You could probably perhaps of over-explained yourself, over-prepared yourself, always double-checking yourself in emails, conversations, or tasks, ruminating of, I should have said this, I should have said that. After the conversation years later, oh my God, that conversation I had 15 years ago with that guy, I only met for 5 minutes, but he said that thing and I said that thing and I wish I said something else. This can overstimulate the nervous system as well, because stimuli rules the nervous system. So you're ruminating on all of your nerves and like taking all of this energy, and it's just suppressing it, and just it's just a mess. Your nervous system is, your cortisol is like skyrocket high, and your nervous system is a mess. You find it difficult to sleep. You're constantly like, there's constant like mental stimulation. You're constantly not thinking. And I'm saying this here as like just reflecting back on my child side, my like 7-year-old self, or 5 years old, being told by this older woman, stop grinding your teeth from the other side of a room. It's like stressed out, 5 years old. My God, it's life. So Chiron in Gemini talks about perfectionism, communication struggles rooted in childhood. Communication struggles rooted in childhood. Steps for growth. You could probably be amazing at distilling complex info into digestible routines, or teaching people how to make life better, especially for those who feel overwhelmed. Repetition, rhythm, clarity, taking your time, knowing that it's okay not to know the right answer, knowing that's okay to take time to find the right answer. If you ever find the right answer, it's okay to return to breath, to pause, to be patient. Read poetry. Yeah. So I wanted to dive in deeper. So what did I do next? So let's look at the ruler of Gemini, right? So the ruler of Gemini is Mercury. And for me, my Mercury in my chart is retrograde, and it sits in Pisces. So Chat GPT helped me with this to kind of give us a feel of what this is like. Think oceanic thinking, feeling more than speaking, absorbing moods before understanding the meaning, speaking in symbols, understanding energy. I definitely was misunderstood very early on. And for me, my Mercury, is in the second house. So this ties to voice, this ties to self-worth, income. And then in the fourth house, this relates to family experiences, probably where the communication wound came from, right? Just early family experiences. And then I thought it was pretty interesting. I mean, it's pretty lucky that I have my Mercury in 11 degrees, 11... I don't know what it is. 11 degrees, 11 minutes, inches. It's 11:11. It's special, okay? It's magic. I'm not meant to speak plainly. I'm here to speak truth poetically. I'm tuned into the liminal, psychic abilities, prophetic dreams. You know, you get the gist. This is me, and this is me. This is my language. This is my Mercury. And then I was like, okay, let's see if we have any aspects with our Chiron. And I have my North Node in Aries sextiling Chiron. So Chat was like, this is the bridge. Speak the wound to live your destiny. Let your voice be your liberation. So express myself boldly, even express myself boldly, even if imperfect. It's my dharma to initiate conversations and lead with personal truth. So this is my personal truth. This is my exploration on Chiron in the 6th house. I found it fascinating. I was like, wow, that makes so much sense. I have a tumor on my brachial plexus and Gemini rules the nerves. Okay. My Chiron is in Gemini, in Placidus, 6th house. Wow, that makes so much sense. That's why I'm always trying to offer solutions and give advice, and I want to be of value to somebody. I want to be of service. Otherwise, I'm not worthy. I am worthy. I am. So I created this slide deck prior to the Libra full moon, which I found interesting because that lunar full moon in Libra was opposing my North Node. So this was like a karmic check-in. Universe was asking me, are you choosing comfort and keeping the peace? or stepping into bold, imperfect authenticity. And since it's a Libra full moon, it could and did stir up old relational habits of over-agreeing, people-pleasing, silencing your truth to stay balanced. It has been very, very heavy. This has been the kind of like the dawn. And it happened at 2:22 a.m. I was like, wow, this, like, oh my God, I'm just blessed. Mercury at 11:11, Libra full moon 2:22. I live in a house called Libra. It was like, universe loves me. 222, that's an angel number energy, a sacred nudge towards alignment. Libra wants fairness, but Aries wants realness. You're learning to be seen as you are, not just accepted for who others want you to be. I'm healing a deep-rooted communication wound, but my soul is craving unapologetic self-expression now. Here we are, 22 minutes into this video. Mercury retrograde in Pisces gives me deep waters. Chiron in Gemini makes them confusing, but the North Node in Aries says you don't have to explain it perfectly, just say it, just be it. This Libra full moon is my cosmic mirror moment. Keep balancing or break through and speak raw truth. So keep balancing, keep people pleasing or break through and speak raw truth. And this is it. This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm here, to make these slide decks, make these presentations, make it quite easy to edit, just bish, bash, bosh, get it up there, get the information out there. Heal my Chiron by sharing this information about me, which is something that I love to do. I love to present. I'm using this as an exercise to improve my speaking, because I have Chiron in 6th house, Gemini. And yeah, so people pleasing versus bold truth, comfort versus clarity, acceptance versus authenticity, and being nudged towards unapologetic expression. This is the first of many slide decks that I'm going to share on my channel, because I want to release this information and get it off. It needs to clear. I need to get it out my backlog, so I can make space to create I can make space for more creativity, for more new ideas to come through. And this is stuff that has been parked there. I feel like I'm at the end of a chapter of my life now. I've been in Spain for 11 years, and I'm beginning a new chapter, and I feel like I need to make a personal archive of what's just happened. So expect, I'm gonna get to that. So let me get back to the topic at hand. So healing my Chiron. It's okay for me to say I don't know. No sé, lo siento, disculpa, pero no tengo la información. No tengo una opinión en este tema. I'm going to honor my pace and cycles. I'm gonna honor my monthly cycle. She's always on the dot, and I want to honor her by doing the things that are in alignment with my cycle at that time, you know. There's something I really would love to do and to track and to follow, and just see how it has an effect on my highest, on me, have an effect on me. I'm so tired today, my brain doesn't work. Speak from the body, not from the pressure. I'm learning how to improve it, but to take a pause, to take a step back when talking with someone who has authority or is an expert in some way. I kind of feel like, look, you're an expert in this field, and I admire that. Okay, but I need to stop. Calm down. Take a sit back. I'm quite stoic, but I do feel that sometimes I could take a further step back. Create rituals around clarity and quiet. 5 minutes in the morning, light a candle. Pure silence. Some affirmations to help heal Chiron in the 6th house. I express myself even when it's messy. My rhythms are sacred. I know enough. I am enough. I speak anyway. I release this slide deck to the wider world, to YouTube, and heal my Chiron. Tiny habits. Tiny habits. Daily liberation. Yeah, my notes are a complete mess. There's like the things on the slide deck, and then I've got like teacher notes, presenter notes in. I'm like, what? I need to make this better for the next time. Anyway, thank you for being here. So the reason why I'm sharing this is because of what you've just seen, healing my Chiron in the 6th house. What's coming my way? What's coming your way? What's coming your way is more of me. More authenticity, more joy, more of what I love, more astrology, chart exploration, more esoteric, psychology, conscious living. I love ceramics. I want to share with you some of the ceramic pieces I've made. Secondhand treasures. I love secondhand shopping. I love vintage markets and flea markets and car boot sales. I miss the England because of car boot sales. Learning Spanish. Decorating my home, learning who I am again and again and again and again and again. So that's what's coming. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. And this is me thriving. This is me living my best life, doing my best. This is me doing my best, healing my Chiron 6th house. And yeah, thanks. Thanks for listening. Half an hour, 28 minutes, 30 seconds. Bye.